Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spell Candle. This is a visual novel game which I have been sent a key to. It went live on Kickstarter on the 23rd of September, and initially I wanted to stream it. I even wanted to stream it quite a bit earlier, but unfortunately I did not manage to have the time or motivation. But since I am right now in recording spree, I thought might as well give you the demo of Spell Candle. I'm not sure if we're gonna play the full demo, but I'm gonna play for as long as I can and want to. So let's just hop right into it. How far are you willing to go to contain war in a glass dome? How many parents would you be willing to sacrifice? How many brothers would you kill? Would you grow numb to the pain, become a zealous leader willing to sacrifice anything for the greater good? Turn a blind eye to the orphans on the streets, ignore those disabled, begging for a coin. Steal, bribe, and extort for a chance at peace. How many decisions would leave you lying awake at night, counting as the souls you sent to the slaughter? Can living in a war for millennia truly be considered life? A loud whistle breaks the silence, rendering the carriage to a sudden stop. The tip of my quill shatters as it smashes into the paper before I can put down my next thought on the page. "Identity control!" The shout comes from the outside, and I put my notepad down, scoffing at the ruined nib. This was the third one today, and I'm tempted to throw my hands up in frustration and scream. I was selected to be the Arisian delegation's reporter for this year's Dread Festival. It should be considered a great honor to be able to report on your country's political victories, no matter how small. But you can't expect a caged bird to sing happily. I reach into my leather satchel to find my identification documents before stepping out of my petite carriage. I feel annoyed that I have to go through this. Just a few feet ahead, an elven woman is going through the papers of an older gentleman from our contingent. "And what role do you fulfill within this delegation?" Her voice is like the sharp-pointed end of an ancient spear. "I am the senator representing the region of Beastlands." The elf sniffs the air around the delegate and frowns. She is beautiful. Glimmering mercury eyes peek out from underneath short bangs, the color of milky quartz. Her skin, like deep iron ore, glitters gently in the ray of daylight. After a very thorough read of the man's identification documents, she hands them back to him without a word. I find myself nervous as the elf's long knife-like ears twitch and her attention shifts to me. I'd never seen anything like it. Her cold gaze examines me from head to toe before she reaches a hand out. "Identification documents!" I hand them over and she scans through them quickly. Enter your name here. Choose your pronouns. Nice. And what role do you fill within this delegation? Selected by the Imperator to take account of the Dread Festival. I'm here to report on the mutual beneficial relationship. We'll be writing a positive piece about Pledge Recorder General's involvement with when I was selected to take an account of the Dread Festival for an article. Her eyebrows rise slightly in my response. After a moment, she nods, accepting my explanation. "And your general? Where could I find him?" The question perplexes me. Though the delegation had been traveling for several weeks, I hadn't encountered the infamous Shadow Master once. Had I? The infamous Shadow Master. Crazy. Upon seeing my bewildered expression, the elf offers a small explanation. He was not in his carriage. "Perhaps because he got bored of being confined in a turbulent box for days." A voice responds before I can open my mouth to formulate an apology. I step back from the carriage and seek out its source. Oh. Well, I'm gonna adjust the voice a little bit. Damn. Upon the wooden roof of my small carriage relaxed one of the most beautiful gentlemen I had ever seen. With his eyes closed, his expression was so serene that I found myself wondering if I misheard him speak. "Shadow Master, may day and night preserve you." The man on the roof of my carriage opened his eyes and leveled the woman with a cold gaze. His eyes were the color of flags of our empire, the color of blood and dangerous, forbidden things. I could hear the elven woman swallow from beside me so vividly that I wondered if he would around us, if the world around us has fallen quiet on purpose. "May I please see your documents, General?" A frown crossed his features before he quietly sat up, slid his feet over to the edge of the carriage, and jumped down with the grace of a cat. Nice. He's very pretty. Very handsome. I don't even know what voice to give him. Help. Here. He pushed a stack of documents that was so thick into the hands of the elf that it made me gape. "It might take you a few days." He smirked, and I wondered where on himself he kept a pocket large enough to hold all that paper. The elf blinked, scanned through the first few pages, then flipped through the next few with shaky hands, her face growing paler by the second. "I want a peek." You'll catch the words permitted legal assassination, poisoning at discretion, lawful use of force to acquire necessary information including dismemberment. The elf suddenly thrusts the pages back at the general and gives him a shaky nod and thank you before wobbling off to the next carriage. Was that necessary? The man's notorious crimson gaze turns to me. "She asked for my papers." He shrugged. "It wasn't my fault that she wasn't ready what was on them." Somehow, his behavior does little to surprise me. It might have been considerate to let her know beforehand. Then why would I do that? His eyebrows rose in challenge, and I found myself searching for a response to give him. "Because you're the Shadow Master?" "You think the ever-powerful elven aspect don't know which general is being sent into their city as a peace tribute every year?" I blink at his response. That's fair. An uncomfortable silence falls over us, and I notice the way his gaze wanders down below my waist, scrutinizing me. A frown crosses his lips. I follow his eyes, and fuck. The inkwell I had left on the seat beside me must have spilled when the carriage came to a sudden halt. He is staring pointedly at a large black stain on the side of my pants. "I hope you're not planning on wearing that one to a welcome dinner." "Of course not." "I highly suggest not embarrassing yourself or the Empire by doing so." Everything about this man was irritating. "I won't." The look he gave me was one of complete apathy. I grit my teeth. A loud, high-pitched whistle traveled from the gates ahead of us. Someone is giving us the all-clear. The clicking of metallic hinges echo in the air, and I take it as my sign to return to the peace of my small carriage. "I hope you have a good day, General." There wasn't a single sincere word in that sentence. He raised a set of eyebrows as I stepped into my carriage. He has more than one set of eyebrows? Sorry. Making sure to avoid the spilled ink, I turned around and shut the door in his face. A childish reaction, but his expression was well worth it. With blood pounding in my ears, I found a clean place to sit before the carriage resumed its movements shortly after, entering Omnis, the city of Candlewax, the capital city of elves. I find myself eagerly peeking out through the window, making a continuous effort to forget the fact that I may have just angered one of the most dangerous men on the eastern continent. My eyes wander between the many tall buildings made of marble, adorned with golden embellishments, before lingering on the rectangular houses with roofs assembled from slabs of multicolored quartz. They're illuminated by the withdrawing river of light, the path of Goddess of Day. All structures bask in the warm rays, coloring in various shades of brilliant oranges and gold. It's a breathtaking view. We pass under a long archway of stone, upon which I can hear the bubbling of running water. Dozens of half-burnt candles of sundry colors and sizes sit atop each visible surface. I find myself itching to see what these streets look like at night. My thoughts quickly bring me back to the journal in my lap. Quickly, I fetch a new quill from my back and note down my initial impressions. After several days of travel, our delegation has finally arrived at Omnes, the legendary elven capital. The gates were guarded strictly, and our official documents and identities were checked for validity. This year, the Great Empire's leading envoy for the peace celebrations is the Shadowmaster. He supports a unique brand of charm and sports that inspires the awe of everyone around him, like a hurricane or some other horrible natural disaster. He has a way with words. I am blessed to be able to experience the elf's exaltation when around him. At least I'm not the only one terrified of his monster. We meter through the roads for another 20 minutes before the carriage comes to a final stop in front of the only building that looks terribly out of place. Ooh, that is really pretty though. The tall rectangular pagoda that serves as the Ares Empire embassy at Omnes. As I disembark, I spot the general already disappearing past the red curtains. He doesn't spare me a glance. I really love the background image, it's very pretty. Like the art style in general. This is why I practically applied for a key to the demo, because I really liked the show-off of the art style. As it looks very, very crisp and clean. This kind of gives me a little bit of Hades vibes from the style. I'm given a small but pleasingly furnished room in the embassy, and quickly ditch my pack in there before heading out into the city. Need to find a tailor somehow. Attack off the most lavishly dressed elves? No. I take a map. The map itself isn't as detailed as I'd like, but I can make out the name of the district of Omnes, as well as a couple of points of interest. I decide to take a look around the enclave of the gods, the area of the earth elves first, since I'd read so much about how lavishly they live. It takes me about 15 minutes of walking and skulking about weird alleyways before I spot a cylindrical structure of rose marble. Two golden curtains embroidered with the large designs of a spool with pink string hung from around its wide open double doors. Dark letters spell out the words, "The Hour of the Golden Ones," right above the entrance of the building. The gentle strum of a mandolin came from inside. Heart-wrenching, intense, soulful, and yet somehow welcoming. I step inside, yet find myself incapable of spotting a single worker. At least not until three shadows of varying sizes shift from behind a paravan of curtains. They speak in some language I do not recognize. I will wait. I wait quietly, watching the outlines shift behind the curtains that sway at the mercy of the wind. Customer? Medium shadow queries. Smells like it. The smallest silhouette, short and stubby, moved to face my direction, its voice high-pitched and snippy. Now's not a good time. I frowned, but I wasn't about to give up that easily. I need an outfit for a party tonight at the Aresian embassy, please. I kept my tone polite, but I knew an undertone of desperation had slipped in. I didn't want to see the general's smug expression directed at me tonight. A short silence followed, filled only by the gentle strum of the mandolin. We are very busy and... A predatory growl erupted from behind the paravan. Help him! The command rolled through the chamber with a low rumble. I felt myself tense as the tallest figure turned to face me from behind the curtain. But Natura! The growl grew louder. As your wish, Natura. The tone was reverent, obedient. Language now fully switched to common. A paravan of curtains rustled as a short elf that looked to be within the late years of his lifespan stepped out to help me. Right this way. I was quickly led behind another small paravan. I am Cupio, one of the designers of the Hour of the Golden Ones, and your extra hand to look your best today. Will you be needing help undressing? question caught me off guard. I refused politely. Thank you for the offer, but I'm accustomed to dressing myself. Rubio nods, surprisingly accepting of my choice. Very well then. I will see what we have that will fit your body while you disrobe. Drape yourself in the plush blanket on the day Davenport if you're feeling bare. And do not be concerned, we change them after each client that refuses to take it home with them. I can take it home with me? Before I could process his words, the elf had made his way outside of my changing area. It didn't take long before several beautiful outfits were brought to me. Cupio made it his mission to look everywhere but at my body as he delivered them and exited. His regard for my wishes put me at ease as I tried on the outfits one by one. Do any of these suit your fancy? A racy blue and white draped dress with a beautiful belt, a conservative black cotton toga that sticks to my curves muscles. A leather two-piece, a blouse with a matching pants accented with golden braces and rings, a ceremonial red and white robe of silk with a black embroidered sash. I say that I like togas, so I'm gonna go with the toga. The breathable cotton covers my body, yet accentuates the curves that matter. The dark material brings attention to my eyes, making them pop. It is a comfortable yet eye-catching outfit that makes the wearer stand out with its well-crafted simplicity. A great choice. The tailor appraises the way the item of clothing sits upon my frame. Is the outfit to your liking? Yes. Lovely, now please follow me to the lockbox. I nod and exit through the heavy curtains to join the small elf at the pay desk, not expecting the looming figure that pushed past the paravan across from mine. It's a lion! Is it not? A bear? He has nipple piercings. Why does he have nipple piercings? I mean, why not? But like, I did not expect nipple piercings. I find myself face to chest with a being unlike any I've ever seen before. A tall cross between a man and monster with a powerful body and rich skin tone. It is a lion. As I look up at him, his eyebrows jump in surprise before his lips twist into a tameless smile. Oh, that was the growl from before. Oh shit. What voice? What voice? What voice? I don't have a fitting voice for him.
Seems like I made the correct choice.
No. Excuse me? I like the yellow golden accent. Like, damn. This dude got muscle though. Like, muscle. Bro. If he can even fit in a shirt or something. I do like the design. But like, too bulky in my personal preference if I was going for a person. I wouldn't go for someone this bulky, but like, he's gorgeous, handsome. Getting you dressed. His voice was like a low purr, and I find my cheeks clenching, heating, as he made a show of admiring my outfit of choice. You're stunning. Thank you. A large tail swishes back and forth behind him as he tilts his head to one side. Do you make a habit of helping others out? Unfortunately, I don't have the time for such noble work. Lately, the only people I happen to assist are my subordinates by doing the stacks of paperwork on my desk. Oh, I like this shot of him even more. Damn. They've had to change that damn thing 3 times this year already. Are you a public servant of some kind? Doesn't look like a servant, bitch. Pretty much. His bold outfit choice has made me assume he was a framed exotic dancer or performer. The thought made my mind travel in a direction that was anything but innocent, so I was almost glad when he changed the topic. Now, to do my job as public servant by covering your bill. Excuse me? What do you mean you're paying for me? Giving me little chance to respond, the creature moved to stand in front of the tailor. Thank you, but that is unnecessary. I hurriedly stepped even closer to Cupio, who looked between me and the tall man now behind me uncertainly. Do you always fight back this hard when somebody tries helping you out? Sadly, saying yes was not an option I was given. I know I've given him a weird look when his smile widens, showing up a pair of sharp top canines. No. Wait, that was the wrong one. I wanted to say yes, sorry. An amused hum leaves his lips, and I find myself wondering what it is. He gleamed from his curt line of questioning. This isn't a battle you need to fight. Your purchase is on me. Consider it a gift from the terror of the elves. From the what now? I freeze in place as the tall creature crosses his arms in front of his chest, refusing to take no for an answer. His lion-like tail swishes back and forth as if taunting me to attempt to refute his kindness. This man was the Terra, the demigod leader of the city of Fides, and the chosen of the earth element. A demigod? Well, damn. And he just paid for a ridiculously overpriced item of clothing. For me. Alright. The intensity of his gaze lessened before he nodded towards the clothing on my body. Pretty things suit pretty people. Consider it a party favor. You are a guest of the Dread Festival, right? I nod and he gives me a brilliant grin. Then please make yourself at home in our city. The words "a million people would kill for this chance" echo in my mind, and I find myself smiling back at the demigod. Thank you. It is my duty and incidentally my pleasure. I find my cheeks heating a bit at his tone. I should be on my way. Of course. I will be seeing you tonight then. Will you though? I don't know. I pick up my old clothes and my pack before bidding Cupio and the Terra the most dignified goodbye I could muster. Now, what did the way back to the embassy look like? I started retracing my steps but quickly found myself unable to deny the itch to put words on paper over my recent encounter. Compared to the capital of the Ares Empire, the elven city of Omnis is beautiful but chaotic. The architecture I see as I walk the streets is awe-inspiring, but the structure of the city itself is incomprehensible. I wonder what the spatial architects were thinking when they planned this place. The urban design is amateurish when compared to the organized construction of our capital city. My thoughts then wandered to the terror of the elves, to his warm smile and his overly accommodating sentiments. Nobody had ever covered a bill for me before purely out of kindness. I can't help but wonder what the price I'd have to pay for it in return would be. I frown and structure my thoughts on the demigod of Earth. My first impression of the terror of elves is that I don't really like either of these options. He seems to live in his own world. Maybe he has a terrible savior complex. I can't judge that yet. I've never once spotted any of our 9 generals out shopping for clothes mere hours before an event as important as the Dread Festival. Then again, if the Terra is as rich as the legacies say he is, I shouldn't be surprised that he throws money around at pompous stores with ridiculous inflated price tags. I feel my chest grow heavy with guilt over the words I put down. I've been taught to always show the strengths of our empire. Throwing mud at the reputations of others in order to do so, however, has never been my favorite thing to do. It's not really what I wanted to say, though. But the other option was not good either. I exhale and look up from my page and quill, needing a distraction from my treacherous thoughts. It comes quickly as I do not recognize the street I'm walking on. Multitasking is not always as easy as it seems. You mean I was writing while I was walking? Damn. The marble and quartz are lost, instead replaced by simple one-floor stone buildings decorated with all kinds of dried plants, bones, and black velvet curtains. The streets seem deserted, the air feels oppressive. Unlike the other parts of town, soft lavender and green candles lay lit around the street, as though there is a heavy darkness there that dims all other colors and needs to be warded off. Silence stretches over me in a way that has me glancing back at my shadow. I do not know why, but this place reminds me of some of the worst moments in my life. Terrible breakup with abuse facts, near-death experience, also a friend in the yearly wars. Loss of adventure. An experience that changed me, left a void in my chest. It's difficult to express what the loss of a loved one feels like, but a wave of sadness hits me with such strength that I have to rub the tears from my eyes as I walk. I hate it. I hate the reality of a mortal. that life has a beginning and an end. How cruel is that? How cruel are the gods that made us like this? I take a deep breath and focus on the teachings of Ares Empire. It's the way to fight back the demons that attempt to conquer you. I need to keep myself occupied and focus on the things at hand. I need to take everything step by step. For someone to guide you back, sure, why not? So far, I do love the music of this game. I really, really like it. The ambient, you know. Really nice, really satisfying. While the street I'm currently on is empty, there surely must be someone I can ask for directions. I walk around for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, taking lefts and rights, making my way through neighborhoods that look lived in, yet don't spot a single person. Haven't I already been on the street? I feel as though I'm being watched. I find myself constantly glancing around at the vacant windows and empty street corners. A cold chill climbs up my back as I reach a few doors without windows or candles. Was this elven magic, or just in my head? Was someone playing tricks on me? When I stop to readjust my pack, I feel something wet hit my forehead. Oh no. The darkening skies up above surprise me, and I have barely a moment to blink before I'm caught in a downpour. The rain is so heavy and cold that if I don't hide somewhere quick, I'm sure I'll be sick during tonight's banquet. Shit. At this rate, my notes will be ruined. I'm breaking to a run looking for shelter from the downpour. The only place I managed to find on such short notice is underneath a small staircase. I'm forced to squeeze in underneath, pulling my feet to my chest. I like rain. I've always found it calming. The pitter-patter of raindrops against any surface could easily put me to sleep. With a downpour like this, it seemed as if the sky itself was crying. For the first time in my life, I found the sky's unruliness almost unfair. By force of habit, I find myself closing my eyes and listening to the sound of raindrops as they hit the cement. I breathe in the petrichor and allow its familiar smell to calm me. I've been reading a lot today. Despite my feeling, I find my earlier unease evaporating, melting away with the minutes. I open my eyes to the sound of a bark and find a small puppy tilting its head at me. When I blink again, however, I find that I must have imagined it. Ah! What stands before me instead is a tall man dressed from head to toe in black. His 4 eyes are startling green, greener than the purest jadeite? Somehow he sticks out from within the gloom of the surrounding environment, perhaps because of the lit white candle that gleams in the lantern he holds up towards me. He surveys me silently, unbothered by the rain falling from the sky. It's a bit loud right now. I think I'm safe, but I'm also... His gaze lingers a bit too long on my ears. Hello? Huh? A sound like an exasperated scoff escapes him before he moves his cape to one side. Wait, what? Never mind. A sound like an exasperated scoff escapes him before he moves his cape to one side. It takes me a moment to realize that he's offering to share. Come on. I'm not sure how I managed to hear a voice so gentle above the downpour. Let's get you out of this rain. I should refuse. Something about strangers and danger. However, this man and his calm, gentle presence reassure me of my safety in a way no one else ever had. Perhaps it was magic? And did it truly matter if I was bespelled? If I managed to get to the banquet in time? Whether or not I moved quickly from neath the cold staircase to under the unfamiliar man's cape. Looks like a raven, though. I'm pleased to find that it is much warmer and larger than it looks. I assume you are an ambassador of the Ares Empire. Once again, I'm surprised I can hear him. Something of the sort. His gaze lingers on me for a moment too long, though he says nothing. He reaches his lantern forward, and I gather that we should move. The streets are accumulating water at such a pace that the sewage system does not seem capable of handling it. At first, I do my best to avoid the gathering puddles and streams of water carrying away dust and grime. Though the task is difficult and my feet should be soaked through the shoes and socks, I'm surprised to find that I don't walk into the puddles. I walk over them. As though an invisible barrier has been created between myself and the cold water accumulating on the streets. When I glance back at the man leading me, I notice the rain bounces away from him. I remain quiet. I've never encountered someone with such countenance before. Somehow he manages to both blend in with the current gloom and stand out from it. He tilts his head towards the sky as if attempting to gauge it will cease raining soon. As if attempting to gauge if it will cease raining soon, and sighs. I apologize. Once again, it takes me a moment to catch his voice. I find how easy it is to miss alarming. Are you apologizing for the rain? Yes. It appears Aqua chose the opportune time to throw a tantrum. I feel the cocks clicking away in my head. And does it rain just in Omnis or all around Quilla when he's in a bad mood? That's entirely up to him. Do all elven aspects have the ability to affect the weather? I can feel his gaze resting on me for a brief period. No. Oh. At least not without the help of spell candles. I raise an eyebrow at the man as he guides us into a turn that leads us out of the basic rocky building district. What are spell candles? A few seconds pass without an answer, and I wonder if the cloak almost seems to grow heavy around me. A way to preserve pure elemental magic. And the magic is released when the candle is burnt? Correct. Sounds simple enough. The eyes on the man's cheekbone glance in my direction and narrow. The action unnerves me almost as much as my earlier interaction with the general. I have the instantaneous need to apologize, but what for? Instead, we walk in silence, passing through alleyways that continue to have no distinguishing features at all. Here we are. Ah! The male stopped suddenly, turned towards me, his tall frame towering over me as he lifted his lantern towards the entrance to the Aurasian embassy. Loud percussion, the whistle of a flute, and a mandolin rang through the air, showing off that the festivities had begun, and I was late. I'm embarrassed to admit I was so focused on the intriguing man before me to notice we'd arrived. Thank you. No thank you is necessary, reassured. He motioned for me to go ahead with his free hand, so I just nodded, turned on my heel, and walked into the embassy in a hurry. The music was much louder inside, accompanied by the smell of various sizzling meats and the bright light of hanging chandeliers. Oh, dang it. Water, earth, and death elves moved around in wild circular dances, dressed in such finery that I found myself thankful that the Terra had interfered on my behalf at the store earlier. Though I spot him in the room, I find that he is engaged in conversations with some senators from our empire, full goblet in hand. A few paces away from him, my eyes meet the infamous crimson hues of the general, who seems to have spotted whatever he was doing to size up my outfit. Stopped, whoopsie. Irritation bubbles in my throat, and I find myself quickly pivoting towards the drinks table. A large wine fountain adorned with lit silver candles quickly catches my eye, and a polite elf pours me a goblet upon noticing my approach. My dears, I'm gonna save here. If you like this, the demo apparently is like 1.5 hours to 2 hours long, depending on if we read it out all or not. So if you liked this demo show-off, I am very willing to play the rest of it. Just let me know in the comments, and until then, see you around. Don't forget to check out the Kickstarter for the game in the description down below. Until then, have a nice rest of your day.